Hello, young active writers and parents. Today I want to talk about research techniques for kids. When I first mentioned teaching 8-year-olds research skills, everyone freaked out. The students' parents worried that it was going to be too difficult for the kids. As one parent put it, we didn't learn proper research until high school or college. When I think of research, I think sitting for hours in the library. Is this really something kids this young can do? The kind of research skill I am talking about is the ability to ask the right questions. Think about it. Research is really about coming up with reasonable questions for a topic. When you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. The first thing my high school librarian taught me about research was how to be more specific when searching for keywords on Google, or Yahoo back then. Kids nowadays are much more familiar with the daily research techniques than we were back then. Asking for things they don't know about is a natural instinct to them. Research shows that children who can ask the right questions are better thinkers. In fact, the world's leading innovators, inventors, business entrepreneurs, and creative minds all seem to be exceptionally good at asking questions. Let's look at this short clip of our journalist interviewing astronaut Chris Hadfield.
Is it scary in space knowing that you could die at any moment?
Is it scary on Earth, knowing that you could die any moment?
On space?
No, I'm asking you, is it scary on Earth? Because you could die any
Not
moment
really.
here too. Think about it, there are accidents happen on Earth all the time. Think what just happened in Nepal with that huge earthquake. It killed all sorts of people just like that. So the question is, do you allow yourself to be scared all the time?
Isn't it great how his question gets right to the heart of the matter? I read today that at 4 years old, we ask about 300 questions per day. On average, kids ask 40,000 questions between age 2 and 5. As we grow up, parents, teachers, and people in society start to restrict us from asking questions. So we start to accept our current situation and refuse to question our ability to change. Therefore, it is important to inspire kids to always be curious and ask questions. Who asks the best questions? I think journalists do. Good journalists can always think on their feet and ask the right questions at the right time. Their determination to get to the truth is also admirable. Journalists research their subjects before asking questions, so they know what they're talking about. That's why this research technique is called the journalist interview technique. We're going to accomplish this lesson step by step. Step 1, plan to play. We're going to pick an event that you are going to take your kids to. It needs to be an event that has an interactive component. An event does not have to be costly. You will be surprised how many free events are happening in your area, especially if you live in or around a big city. Obviously, there are more events around the holidays. A quick Google search will give you good results. It can be any sort of event, but I would keep the event to something new and local. If the kid is very familiar with the event, he or she won't feel there's anything interesting to write. If the event is too big, it is hard to focus on one area to write about. So I would suggest a small music festival, a local art fair, an apple picking event, a Greek food festival, an interactive museum exhibit, or anything else that's easy to reach and coming soon. Step 2, ask nonstop. Ask your child to come up with as many questions as they can for the event. If you want to encourage them to do it faster, set a 5-minute timer. Do not stop to think about answering any of the questions. Step 3, sort questions to open-ended or closed-ended. Ask your child to write C for closed-ended questions. Questions you can answer with yes or no. Then ask your child to write O for open-ended questions. questions you can't answer with yes or no. Not all closed-ended questions are bad, but for this exercise, we will change the closed-ended questions to open-ended questions. For example, will there be dancers at the event? You want to change that question to who will be performing at this event? Making your questions open-ended like this gives you the chance to learn things that you might not have expected. Step 4. Who is it for? Divide the questions into sections. Is it for the event organizer? Is it for the audience or visitors? Is it for the performers? Is it for staff or volunteers? This is an example for the discovery of the King Tut exhibition in New York City. For event organizers, these are some of the questions you can ask. When did this exhibition start? When does it end? What time can I see the exhibition? How much is it to see it? You can also come up with some more advanced questions like this. Who came up with the idea of hosting this exhibition? Why is the exhibition in New York? If this exhibition is a traveling exhibition, where has it traveled to so far? To curators and museum staff, you can ask questions like this. Who is King Tut? Who discovered the tomb of King Tut? When was the tomb discovered? Is this exhibition interactive? If so, which parts are interactive? What would be my favorite part? What can I expect to learn from this exhibition? How long did it take to prepare this exhibition? What's the most challenging part of this exhibition to prepare for? How is this exhibition different than other King Tut or Egyptian exhibitions? For visitors, why do you like this exhibition? What's your favorite part of the exhibition? What made you come to the exhibition? What did you learn from the exhibit? Step 5. Research. With your child, start answering the basic questions through researching the event website or articles related to the event. Most questions can be answered through research. If it's a question you can't find answer to, make sure to keep it in your pocket. So when you are at the event, you can encourage your child to ask the stuff. In our future lessons, I am going to show you how to help your kids to talk to strangers and to ask questions. The more your child practices these steps, the more of an active thinker he or she will become. In no time, your child will be able to apply this research skill to their studies and everyday tasks. Share your experience doing this with your child with me. What's the biggest gain from this lesson? Next lesson, we're going to talk about how to implement research into your kids' articles.